Welcome to the Voice of the Coast. I am your host, Danique. Along with me, we have Mustang Mike, Beadle, and Bill Goessl. Anytime you see these guys, 'tis the season. It is just about Christmas time, and of course, we're talking about toys for tots. And of course, with you, we're talking about wrestling. Everyone knows you. You're pretty much synonymous with the wrestling world and the industry. Seasons beatings, 8. That means you've been doing this for at least 8 years for this particular thing, but you've been in this business 30 years.
Yes, November 19th makes 30 years since my first match. So it's quite a milestone. I'm pretty proud of that. That's one thing for myself, but I'm proud of being able to be a part of the Marine Corps League with Toys for Tots for our 8th year. And it's been going real well, and we're glad to be able to help out the community and the kids who need it.
You bring out some really popular names, some faces that people are aware of, but then you're actually going to be bringing out kind of a seasoned individual that if you've been around for a while, you may know who it is. Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, this is our poster you'll see around town. We have the One-Man Gang. He's the old Mid-South wrestling star from back in the 80s. He actually did dabble a little bit in WWE. He did the wrestler called Akeem from WWE, but he's coming in to assist us with helping raise funds for the event, and we're glad to have him to come in and support a great cause for us.
To know that you have organizations like this, Mr. Bill, that come out year after year to help with Toys for Tots, that has to be a huge help.
Absolutely. 8 years running, and we get good crowds every year. The crowd brings toys, the promoter buys toys. It really helps. It gives us a boost. It really helps the community.
And again, every year there's always just more and more being added to help with donations and funding it. There's actually going to be another event that's coming up pretty shortly.
Well, we have the Marine Corps Band coming December 10th, and that's a concert at the Morgan City Auditorium. And Saturday, November 9th, is a tag football game with the Sheriff's Department taking on the Fire Department.
Who doesn't like to see that rivalry?
Yeah, and right now they're kind of taking bets on who's gonna. And the Fire Department, I hate to say it, but the Fire Department has the more votes on winning this.
Wow.
And that is free admission, a toy for Toys for Tots, and a canned goods for the canned good drive. So it's absolutely free. All it is just to help the community.
Awesome.
The sheriff's doing an awesome job.
And then, of course, so there's something just about all month. I mean, you have November 23rd, bring you back to Gulf States Wrestling. I just kind of brushed over you, 30 years. How's that been on you, on your body? I mean, honestly, I don't think any people would know it's been 30 years.
Well, it's kind of snuck up on me. A lot of the guys who I wrestle with now are technically half my age or less. So it keeps me on my toes. I try to stay in shape and do the things that I need to. Just turned 54 years old, and 30 years is a long time to beat your body up in the ring. And I enjoy what I do. The kids come out in groves, and they come up to me and they like, Mustang, man, you're my favorite wrestler. And it just still blows my mind at this age that they still follow us. And I do it for the community, and which is the main reason why this is my local community here. And we've been doing this for Toys for Tots for the last 8 years. So it's just a blessing to still be able to do it. That my time will be getting short.
That was my next question.
I keep saying that, one more year, but 30 years is a pretty nice number. Mm-hmm. So not saying that it's going to be tomorrow or on November 23rd, but almost time for me to pass the torch.
Awesome. Well, of course, this is such a great organization, but there's so many people who benefit from it. What's the application process?
Applications are being taken right now in Morgan City or this side of the Calumet Bridge. You apply at St. Mary Outreach. On the western side of the Calumet Bridge, you apply at the Franklin Chamber of Commerce. And applications are going now through December, let's say December 2nd. Okay. You have to apply. With our distribution day is December 14th.
One thing, I know Seasons Beatings is definitely a crowd favorite, but also Toys for Tots, the actual concert, Marine Reserve Forces Band. Am I saying that right? Marine Forces Reserve Band. There we go. They come in every year, and you guys feed them pretty good, so they should be pretty healthy and ready to do their thing.
We are lucky to get them year after year, and one of their stipulations is as long as you have a full venue, they'll come back. So as long as we pack the auditorium, they're going to be back every year. They like playing to a full house, and we kind of make it standing room only. So yeah, they're going to be here. We'll feed them something. We'll come
Yeah.
up with something and make sure their bellies are full before they.
Or you
before they
say
get out
something like it's just, we'll throw something together, here and there. But when I tell you they come here and they do their interview and they look forward to it, for even those individuals who don't necessarily return the next year, they tell the next ones, hey, when you go, make sure to eat good. You'll eat very good with Mr. Goessl. So we have one more segment to go. Y'all come on back right here on the Voice of the Coast. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. Let's get right back into it. I am kind of amazed at wrestling. I remember going as a little girl with my brother, my dad, and I think my little sister may have been there as well. And I always wanted to know, how is it to be in the ring? What does it feel like? Can I do the little, back up and then run across? I mean, do you ever bring the kids up? I mean, because I'm sure that's pretty fascinating. That's why they go. They want to see the live action up close.
Yeah, they always want, I don't know how many requests I get, Mustang, can I go get in the ring? And I'm like, well, because if you let one, you got to let a bunch of them. So we find a way to get them involved and let them come in sometimes at the beginning of the show to say a few things. They want to jump around, then you got to get them out.
Yeah.
So the kids are what makes this thing go round, and that's why it's just such a great event for people to bring to. Berwick Civic Center, November 23rd, you can still get tickets, and it's just going to be a great event like every year.
How many people typically come out to a match?
We've been averaging between 400 and 450 people that come to the shows. It's probably our second biggest show of the year compared to Cajun Heat in July, and the people just supporting this community. We're so thankful for everybody that always donates, all the companies that get involved and help and make this a huge success.
So that's about 400 to 450 toys that are being donated. What areas are typically impacted by Toys for Tots in St. Mary?
Our region that we are assigned to is St. Mary Parish, Lower St. Martin Parish, and we do the local areas of Assumption Parish. So I guess if you would stick a pin in Morgan City, we have about a 30-mile radius. We don't go into Houma, but about a 30-mile radius that we take care of.
And I remember Katrina, you guys touched so many areas. Have you ever seen those numbers since?
Katrina was tough. We had the foundation really stepped up and helped us out. They were sending us 18-wheelers of toys, so we could just give toys out to everything. Got to give a shout out to Performance Contractors. They brought several loads of toys in last year. We had an abundance of toys, so we were able to go further into Assumption Parish than we would normally do. So back like in the Katrina days, we did Highway 1 and Highway 70. We did that again last year. So we got to thank the Assumption Parish Sheriff's Department for helping us out with that.
So that's good that the business community also steps up to help as well. That's good.
Yes.
That they do that. And if they want to get involved, what should they do? If they want to volunteer, because I know you can never have a shortage of volunteers. Coast Guard has come out, I know, some years before as well.
Coast Guard was putting bikes together for us for years, and the Coast Guard guys, they'd put a bike together at their boat yard, and then they'd ride the bikes just to make sure they worked. So I don't know what was going on with that, but they were doing good. But yeah, we need volunteers. We usually get the high school beta clubs to come over and give us a hand when we're assembling and bagging the toys. And then on distribution day, we have the ROTC kids come out and help, and they bring all the toys to the cars. So the high schools are involved. They help us out quite a bit.
Now, for your event, is it tickets or first come, first serve?
Yeah, you can get tickets in advance. You can call 985-518-0433. Also, you can go online to the Gulf State Wrestling webpage on Facebook and Instagram. Also, they always look me up, Mustang Mike, on there. I get tons of messages all the time. You can get your tickets if you want to sit close.
Yeah.
We won't turn anybody away because there's 700 seats you can sit at the Berwick Civic Center. So, like I said, some people like to be up close and some like to sit a little further back where it's not as kind of crazy, but we got our big crazy fans who want to be right there. They trying to jump the rail.
They want to feel the sweat.
Some of them are involved in the show with their their charisma. So, but November 23rd, you can still get your tickets. Pretty much 3 weeks to go, and still got some good seats left. 3 title matches. I'll be having a big match against the heavyweight champion Vladimir Koloff, which is the Russian bad guy. So we've been working on this for a while, so I need that Morgan City, Tri-City area support to come support me with there. Fans bring a toy, and we appreciate it.
And we get people from, they're coming from all over the southern United States.
Yeah,
right?
we get guys all the way from Texas all the way to Florida. And then so it's a great turnout.
And lastly, I want to give you just a couple more seconds here. This goes up to like 16 or 12? What's the
12, 13,
Yes.
we stopped it. But if they do have a brother or sister, you know, we're going to give somebody a toy. We're going to give them a toy. So if it's a family and they have one older child,
And
we're gonna
make
take
sure
care
that it's age appropriate, because you know these 12 and 13-year-olds, they don't like the little dolls anymore. So you know. All right. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to subscribe to us on Facebook. We are KWBJ TV 22. You guys take care. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. It is my honor, I think even my pleasure, to be interviewing this gentleman. We have Courtney Schola Long. Many people know you as Schola. How you doing?
I'm doing well, doing well.
Yes.
Just going through all of the stresses of being the week of the event. So.
Yes, that's right. So the week of the event that we're talking about is Morgan City High School Homecoming Alumni Weekend. Now, most times when you hear about alumni coming together, it's either for a reunion or maybe even for homecoming. That's typically one day. You have decided to put together a weekend full of activities. What's all involved?
Well, the Friday night, we're going to do the tailgating right before the game. Unfortunately, with this storm brewing in the Gulf, we had to make the school had to make some changes. We had to make some adjustments to coincide with that. But we're still moving forward. Based on the information we have, it shouldn't affect us to where we have to shut it down.
How did this whole idea come about as far as doing this alumni weekend?
Well, it's not a new idea. Actually, I have some friends from Franklin, have been watching them over the years of what they were doing and the festivities that they were creating around their homecoming weekend or week or game, and figured, why can't we do this right at home? Why can't I do that with my alma mater? And that's pretty much where it came. So taking the guidance from what they were doing and just kind of duplicating it in Morgan City.
Now, when I think of homecoming, I think of people with their tailgates down, bringing their trucks, and they're out having a good time. What does it look like for Morgan City High School?
So this year is pretty much going to be a pilot year. So we're pretty much asking people, and we have a slew of people that's coming out. We're asking people to just come out in peace and love, and we're going to have a DJ out there. Dr. Eric Melanson, our St. Mary Parish coroner, has volunteered his services to cook his famous jambalaya for the participants that's there. So we're just gonna have a good time. I'm encouraging people to come out with their classes, hang out with their classes, and enjoy the music and the food and the fun. And we got games, we got all kind of stuff. So it's a family-friendly event.
Now, of course, it is a family event, but I think at the heart of this, your reason for doing this was to give back to the school, correct?
Yes. So 3 reasons. I tell everybody that asks, 3 reasons was 1, to give back to the school, raise much needed funds for the kids, show them support in the community, and then lastly, not really lastly, but another component of that is to bring people back who haven't seen each other, who are classmates and haven't seen each other in a long time. So that fellowship aspect was part of the plan as well. And then lastly, obviously, stimulate the local economy. People are coming in from out of town. They're going to get hotels. They're going to buy food, gas. All of this goes to supporting the local economy.
Now, you're talking about getting all these classes together. How much interest have you garnered in, like, how far back are we looking?
It has been astonishing how much energy has built around this whole event. We have classes as far back as the late 60s. The late 60s to literally 2024, and everything in between.
Very new alum.
Yes, yes. And that was the only criteria. You had to actually be a graduate, because I had some kids that were still in high school asking could they participate. I'm like, not this time, maybe next year.
Yeah.
You know?
So, of course, it's the tailgate, but there's much more to this. There's some other activities, I think, so Friday night is the tailgate. That's from 4 to 6:30.
To 6:30.
And then, of course, you have the Sadie Hawkins. Let's talk about that. So I remember when I was in school, Sadie Hawkins, I didn't have a date. I'm just letting you know, this is confession. I didn't have a date, okay? But I do remember Sadie Hawkins, and you didn't necessarily have to have a date. You could have gone with your friends, but you dress alike. Is the same premise for the adult Sadie Hawkins that you have planned?
Yes, the exact premise is
Okay.
to have everybody dress alike, but there's a twist to this one because we're doing it all class. The theme of the whole Sadie Hawkins is dress your decade. So if you're from the '60s, come in your bell bottoms, your afro wigs, or whatever. From the '90s, come in your airbrush or jabots or whatever it was at that time. So
Okay.
when I say a lot of people was getting confused, they were like, "Do I dress by like the year I was born?" No, you dress like the year how you would have gone to a dance in your high school years.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's going to be interesting.
It's gonna be
Take
fun.
lots and lots of photos, and I would love to see that. Well, I will be there, so I would love to see all the classes to come together. So speaking of which, we'll talk a little bit more about the Sadie Hawkins because, again, you said all proceeds will be going back to the school, so we'd
Yes.
like to know exactly how can one participate. So you guys stay right there. We've got much more to cover right here on The Voice of the Coast. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. Again, I'm your host, Danica Long, and we have Courtney Schola along with us. We're talking about Morgan City High School Homecoming Alumni Weekend. It's coming up November 8th and 9th, and we were kind of talking about the Sadie Hawkins dance. Of course, I'm going to be there. I am your date, and we'll be dressing the decade and the year that you graduated, which is class of '96. Something I'm putting you on the spot about. Do you remember the class? What is the slogan, mantra?
Yes,
What
of
is
course.
it? Please, let me hear it.
Tigers, Tigers, top of the list. We're the class of '96.
Well, I'm just going to call myself an honorary Tiger. I don't know if folks really are digging that, but hey, I am an honorary Tiger. Something else, if you'd like to get more information, you can text Tigers, that's with an S, Tigers, to this number, 337-467-8311. With the proceeds, you're saying it's going back to the school, but do you have anything in mind, like a purpose? Where do you want these proceeds to go to?
So obviously you really knowing me, you know that my heart is always with the community, and anytime there is an event that I stand for and I spearhead, it has to be for a purpose. And so seeking that purpose, I actually found a really cool educational experience that would be great for kids, and it is, and I don't know if I could say the full details right now because I did talk to Superintendent Buffy Fagenbush, Dr. Fagenbush, and she's on board. She has to do some things with her IT department to make sure that it's something feasible from the school's standpoint and safe for the kids, which I'm sure it is. So I don't want to release the exact details, but I will say that if we can get this to push through, it's going to be phenomenal to push to make a greater educational experience for the kids.
Awesome. Now, of course, news is what I do, and I've been monitoring the weather. So have you looked at what the weather is going to be looking like for this event, especially for folks who are like, I want to go out there, but I'm just kind of concerned about the likelihood of the storm and its impact?
Yes, we have been in close talk with the officials at the EOC, I think it is, and
I think it's emergency preparedness.
correct.
Yes.
Okay. So been in talks with them, and they've been kind of keeping us abreast of what their meetings are looking like. And currently, as it stands, it shouldn't be a significant threat for our area. So it shouldn't dampen, no pun, dampen anything on Friday. Saturday, a little rain, maybe 5%. So I don't think that'll stop anything either.
And that's going to be indoors. Tell us a little bit about the Sadie Hawkins. Where is it going
So
to
the
be?
Sadie,
Time?
yes, Sadie Hawkins is 8 o'clock Saturday at the Morgan City Municipal Auditorium. And before that, let's talk about Saturday morning, which is the Tigers Brunch. Now, how I came up with that is kind of interesting because I remember in high school, and I think a lot of people can resonate with this, after every dance, we used to go to Shoney's. Shoney's was the spot after every dance. So kind of bringing that nostalgic effect back, I reached out to Shoney's, and they're on board. So they're going to offer a discount for anybody, any class from Morgan City High School. And we're going to go there, and throughout the day, from 11 to 3 p.m., we'll have a Tigers brunch. And I'm just kind of letting classes decide when they're going to go on their own from 11 to 3 p.m.
Now, keeping in with homecoming spirit, all across the parish, you have these kids, they go and they They have their little pranks they do. They toilet paper homes. Now y'all ain't doing that, huh?
No, of
Okay,
course
that's
not.
why I'm just trying to. I'm just asking, making sure we're not gonna be caught.
Class of '96, I don't have that energy no more.
You can barely walk through the drive-thru.
Right. The knees crack in the morning, so I don't have that kind of energy.
Well, lastly, my next question is: what has been the response from the classes, from your former classmates, or just the former students?
I think the overall theme is excitement. I've heard everything from it's so cool because some of my classmates I haven't seen since the 80s. We're going to get together. So that would be the theme. The excitement around it is just, it's flooring for me.
All right. I will say I'm excited too. Again, I'm an honorary alum for this event. So thank you and thank you. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.